Let's go, baby! Bomb arrows to the rescue. Ha! Ah! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! What did I do? That was an accident. Freaking beetle. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Danielle, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished. Oh, time to beat. 23 hours, 28 minutes. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
She gets first for the first time.
Holy shit!
Wait, it went through? I gave him $50.
What? Wait. I'm not ready. What's up? How you doing, G? I'm first for the first time. Yeah! I've never seen you get first. I've never seen you redeem first, I should say. Today should be pretty fun. Yeah. We're gonna play a game against another streamer. We do these once a week, random times because of the other streamer, and it should be fun. How are you feeling, Chi? Still a little sick, or a little better, or I know who it is. It is. Who is it? It is Rosquilla. Different kind of sick. Oh. Add. Oh. Sag. Add equals Sag. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. What's up, Rosquilla? Here we go, boy! Are you ready? Are you ready to duel? I might have to not look at chat in the middle of games, you know? So no one cheats. You might have to do the same thing. What is this man doing? Let's see. Let us see. Oh, it doesn't show. I'm such an idiot. Boom! Now it shows.
So I think we're gonna start at around 5:10, actually, according to what we're talking about here.
Actually, 6:10. Stupid.
So I believe also that Ping Pong is going to be recording this. So, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. 5:10. Get in the right time zone.
We're Eastern time, baby.
You better not watch our stream while we do this, though.
Sure.
I believe Ping Pong is going to be recording this, and it'll go up on his YouTube channel afterwards. So that'll be fun.
And
I don't know when.
By the way.
Yeah, now you do have to watch and edit my video. That's your job, man.
At chat. Lol.
No, I'm just kidding. Who knows? Maybe this will go up on my side.
Last, who needs time zones when you have a bad sleep schedule? Aww.
I don't know if we should look at chat. I promise that I won't cheat. As long as you promise.
Our own chats may cheat.
Samesies. Good.
Not last. Autocorrect. Last, who needs time zones?
Spread the good word. Send out the message, Kagano. Gather my disciples. Bring them in
Oh,
towards
he's gathering his disciples. Oh, do you go to the practice setting?
Hey, exactly. We don't
Lol, okay,
cheat
gay.
around here. Hey, we play a legit
She won't cheat
game.
either.
Hey,
Good.
I don't know why I'm saying hey.
Hey.
hey, look, I'm ping pong. Hey,
I'm
No,
from
I'm kidding.
Italia. All right, let me talk to him. I should probably talk to him.
Excuse me.
Let me call him.
Excuse me.
Should
Lord
I
Mothman.
call you?
I've never cheated a day in my life.
Should I call? You're not Italian.
Call.
Wait, what? I thought you were in Australia.
So you can get back in here now.
Are you part Italian? He said, "Yeah."
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna mute him. We don't want to hear his ugly voice anymore. There's the call.
There you are. Okay. Hello.
What's up? What's up?
You ready for this?
I'm ready to lose.
As dang straight you are.
Wait, no, I didn't mean that. I'm ready to win.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you know how to? You have to press play and then go in the lobby. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I was waiting for more information.
Oh, I
wasn't
found
sure
you.
what we-
Oh, sorry. Shall
Oh,
we
there I-
start?
Sure.
Me
Wait,
versus. Yeah,
are you
go ahead.
inviting me or am I inviting you?
I'll invite you.
Okay.
Me versus Rosquilla. Spy versus Sniper. The winner of 2 out of 3 games gets a special prize,
Yes, very special.
which I guess we won't mention.
I mean, I kind of already did, but
Ah.
they didn't watch it on your side, so I won't say it again.
Exactly. It's a secret.
Yeah.
Let me keep this here. Wait, why do I don't need your stream open. Oopsies. I took
You
it away. I took
cheat.
it away. I took it away. I took it away. Wait, do I play a
Alright.
sniper or a spy?
What do you want to play as first?
You want to flip a coin?
Yeah, I'll flip a coin.
Okay, flip a coin.
Okay. Heads, you'll play as spy. Tails, I'll play as spy. That'll make it easier.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you actually flipped it.
I did. There you go.
What is it?
Heads, you're playing as spy.
Okay. Let's start.
Can't hear ping pong on this end.
Wait, they can't hear me?
Apparently not. Not on my end, anyway.
Well, you
Why
gotta
not?
fix that.
Ugh.
Damn, fix it. Please, if you want. I mean, you don't need to, but.
Let's see.
What's
Let me-
up,
I'll turn your
Chris?
volume up, so you'll be screaming in my ears.
Okay.
Oh God.
Penguin can't hear you.
I just
TTS
boosted his audio
dead.
Up, so he should be good now.
TTS dead. Yeah, I turned off a bunch of stuff for challenge streams because it's gonna turn into a YouTube vid.
He's playing as
Italian being
spy,
one of the
so I'll
major
play as
parts.
Sniper.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. You are diversely European. I remember now. Okay, guys, who should I pick?
You should definitely pick that one guy that looks like the one guy.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna pick the cowboy. I don't think he could hear me.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I think he's gonna play as the cowboy. That should be good, though.
I forgot to mute myself.
Now I know he's not the cowboy. Or maybe he is the cowboy and he's using reverse psychology. The world may never know.
I'm using regular psychology, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I already chose my character.
You already chose your character?
Well, I mean, as a spy, there's only one option.
Wait, I thought I thought I was the spy.
I mean, as the sniper.
You
Sorry.
cheater! Okay. Let's...
Oh, look at that! Ping pong. It looks
What?
like we're both spies. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know who to. Oh, he's
Play as
hot.
that one guy. Yeah, do it as that guy.
That
Mhm.
guy? Okay, I'll do that guy.
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't aware, the spy has to complete like tasks, and then the sniper has to kill the spy before he
Yes.
completes all the tasks.
I have 4 tasks to complete, and he has to kill me before I do all 4 tasks.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right.
This is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of scary. Should I mute myself?
Nah.
Nah? Okay, I won't mute myself. Oh, I want to say what I'm about to do so badly.
Yeah, you should.
What is that red light?
What red light?
Hey, don't kill Damon. That's Damon Johnson over there.
Who said I was killing anybody?
Damon's pretty hot though, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
What are you seeing?
A lot of things actually.
Are you good at this game? Cause I only played the tutorial.
I mean, I've already played the whatever it's called too in tutorial.
The tutorial?
Yeah.
Let me. Why'd you shoot? What? I won. What would you shoot?
That was not what I was trying to do. So.
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to mark people, and I forgot how.
You shot them. You
All
mark
right.
with the
Hang
left
on.
click
Can
and
we-
right click.
Yeah, can we consider that a practice run? I'm just kidding.
No.
Play again. Oh, I've unlocked new stuff.
I've unlocked new stuff. Oh,
Oh, am I the spy now? I suppose.
I hope not.
Okay.
I think I'm still the spy for a bit. By the way, you're talking really loud into the mic, and it's kind of loud.
You know what? You can get over it.
Oh, you're right.
Why is my stream stuck on the main menu? What the heck?
Did your thing die? It says waiting for spy to set up game.
Hang on.
Most parts Italian, Dutch, and British with a ton of other stuff. But yes, I am Australian. Hey, thanks for the sub, bro. Wait, I just got gifted a 10,000 subs. So give me a second. I gotta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Samaranio just resubscribed for 12 months. You woo.
Why is that doing?
Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Yo, how you doing? Gotta stay Copa friendly for YouTube.
There. I think that should have fixed it now.
What's Copa friendly? Beautiful. What happened? Did your stream die?
I don't know exactly what happened. It just was bugged out.
Oh, but your stream is still running?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright.
I hope that it saw that last match. If not, that'd be interesting.
It's okay. I saw that last match, so
Okay.
yeah. Are you ready to get sniped?
Yep.
You are? Oh, so which one are you? Okay, I learned from the tutorial to just unhighlight all the people with triangles on their head. 'Cause they're like bots.
All right.
That's all I've learned. This game always looks so fun. Yeah. Alright. I'm actually going to turn off my music to concentrate here. Damn, why are they talking so loud? Well, I guess
Why are they talking so loud?
Banana bread.
Banana bread? You banana breaded me?
Banana breaded you.
Yeah, that means you contacted the agent. Damn it! I wasn't paying attention. I think you're the I think you're the, yeah. Okay, we got head, booty, head. Move your butt. Your butt. Head, beauty, head. Head, booty, head.
Head, booty, head.
Head, bird, booty. Head, booty, head. Head, bird, booty. I gotta remember that. Wait, that's not a booty. Oh, yeah, it is. Head, booty, head. Head, booty, head. Head, bird, booty. Head, booty, head.
Banana bread.
Banana, you banana breading again?
Who did that? I don't know. That's weird.
People are. Head, booty, head. Gotta change the statue. Oh, you're walking away? You got scared? You got scared? Oh, you went back to talking to everyone else? You think I don't know who you are? You think I don't know, bro?
I know. Are you?
Banana bread.
But why you keep banana breading?
I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Huh?
I mean, I would if I knew what you're talking about, but I don't. So. What's that red light? That's kind of weird.
You have a minute. You better check your watch over there. Oh, you're the whammon? You're the Great Britain whammon?
The what?
The Great Britain whammon.
The Great Britain ramen.
Wait. You have 30 seconds, bro.
I know.
What are you gonna do?
Who knows?
Well, you're going. Which one are you? I'm gonna win. You have 18 seconds. You didn't touch the statues. Huh?
What?
Don't I win if you don't get everything done? Oh! You just added time. Shit, I wasn't paying attention. That makes sense. You are the whammon. You are the whammon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the whammon.
What wham? There's a bunch of whammon.
No, you're the Great Britain whammon.
Well,
You're
there's
the-
like they're all Great Britain.
You're
women,
Queen
so.
Elizabeth. You're checking the books out now. Huh?
What?
Don't change the boobies. Huh. I'm just shooting you. Is it you? It has to be you. It has to be. No! Who were you?
Yo, I was
The
lady
Asian
in
woman.
blue
I thought
dress.
it might have been you. Damn it.
Ha-ha!
I gave it to you. I felt bad because it was 1-1. I felt bad.
Right. Of course. I was like, how do I seduce the target again?
Damn it. Wait, you when did you swap the statue?
Like right away at the beginning.
I didn't even see you do that. Shit.
I'm a pro gamer, man.
You are. Copa is official organization to protect children. Ah.
Thank
Slight
you,
bit of
Lugano,
sorry.
for the battle horn.
No, Copa. We don't need to be Copa friendly here.
Who do you guys think's gonna win, me or ping pong?
Bro, I'm gonna win. You don't even need to ask.
I don't know.
You don't need to ask. Okay.
So wait, if I win this next game, that means I win, right?
You win the first game out of 3.
Oh,
Yeah, that would be too easy.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait, how do I make the roll highlight to change the cast?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't know how to change the cast. Oh, I question mark them? Oh, shite.
Oh no.
We gotta go all female because it's
Oh.
almost International Women's Day.
Almost?
Yeah.
When's International Women's Day?
Um,
Hey Google, when's International Women's Day?
It's March 8th.
March 8th, 2022.
That's what I just said. March 8th.
Nah, you said like March 16th or something.
Hey,
so,
the only reason I know it is because my friend's birthday is on March.
because you're a woman.
Because I'm a woman.
Yeah. I knew
Okay,
it.
it takes way too much to change all of them. I'm just not gonna do that anymore.
You should have just been better, man.
I'm gonna play as the guy that looks most like me.
Oh, okay. So the Colonel, gotcha.
The Colonel.
Well, maybe he's not unlocked yet. The guy that's like in the military.
No, I'm playing as a woman for International Women's Day.
A whammon.
Yeah.
Are you playing as Queen Elizabeth again?
No. Did I even
Don't
do
lie
that
to
the
me.
first time?
No, but you thought I did.
Yeah. Ooh, reverse psychology. Maybe I am.
What the heck was that?
That was my pet bird. Sorry.
Somebody, can we? Somebody muzzle. Ping Pong
Whoa.
for me, please.
Whoa, I'm not a dog.
No, you're-
Racism.
Never mind. I can't say that. I can't say what I was gonna say. That'd be really bad.
I'm Jewish?
No.
What?
No, it wasn't that. I caught myself though.
Uh-huh. What was it?
Yikes.
What was it,
I don't
bro?
know. It might have had something to do with women.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This video is going up on
My-
International Women's Day.
What I was gonna say is women are very
Amazing.
important members of society.
Yes.
And without them, a lot of us wouldn't be here. So most of us wouldn't be here. Most humans would not be here on Earth.
None of us. What? None of us would be here.
Exactly. So that's why women are important.
Or can you like hurry up?
No, I was
Jesus.
busy, talking about women.
Okay.
Let's see. You
I.
and you and you.
Who do you think I am?
Who do you think you are?
I think I'm ping pong masters.
Oh, I see.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
What even is that?
Banana bread is. You don't know what that means?
Well, I know what it means, but like, what are you even trying to? What are you trying to say there, man? Hmm?
What do you mean? Banana bread.
Very good. Very good.
What's very good?
I know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
I know exactly who you are.
Hey, who am I?
I'm not gonna tell you, otherwise you'll.
I'll.
Yeah.
What will I do?
You'll know exactly what you'll do.
Who am I, bro?
That's a good question.
You'll never figure it out.
Banana bread.
Oh, what? I was the woman. It's International Women's Day. Oh,
I didn't
my
believe you. I thought you
God.
were. Here, watch replay.
Why would I lie about being a woman?
Oh! Dang it! I was like, you do stand out. You're kind of suspicious.
Yeah. I just kept banana breading to like make you scared.
Banana bread.
Wait, so I won.
The first game.
Yeah, that means you
Yeah.
suck. Start new game as sniper? Wait, what? Yes, I guess so. Oh, too easy. Too easy. Oh yeah, today is 22/2/22. That's pretty cool. And tomorrow is the last day that it'll be February 23rd, 2022 for the next 7
yeah.
forever. It'll never change.
And then
What?
you.
must be a woman because you said, "Oh yeah," in a very sexual tone.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would like to know if you were a woman. Because if you were, I would stream with you more often. No, I'm just joking.
Wow.
It's a joke.
Rude.
It's just a prank. It's just a prank. You would make a lovely woman.
Right. I don't believe you.
Oh. Yes, creating game. Let's go.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Huh?
Sorry. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
I'm the sniper now. I don't like that. Wait, the potential double agents can't be the spies, right?
I don't know.
Don't lie to me.
Why would I lie to you?
Because you would. Booty head bird
Banana bread.
banana bread.
Banana bread?
Oh. What's up, Timmy and Angel? How you doing, guys?
Hey. Hey, Timmy and Angel, come over to mine. I'm much cooler.
Don't do it. Wait. Wasn't that I don't know anymore, bro.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Who likes banana bread anyways?
I know, right?
Not me.
Oh, I forgot to edit the question of the day. Sorry, guys. I can't look at chat at the moment. I'm trying to find the killer, the spy.
Yo, thank you, Samron, for viewing.
Where are you?
That's a fancy red laser.
Ah, thank you. Where are you? I wonder who you are. Do you happen to be very large with a mustache?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I saw you change the statue.
You.
Easy, baby. 3-1. Easy.
I'm just gonna mute you, man.
Okay.
You gotta be a good sport about it, at least.
No, then it's not as fun.
Yeah.
What's up, Angel? What's
it
up,
is
Timmy?
Fun. That or I'm gonna just turn you down all the way.
I'll never betray my daddy. Okay, see you later, Angel.
I'm not salty, you are.
Ooh, I want to seduce someone really hot.
Oh, are you gonna seduce the mustache man? Love the mustache man.
I might. Excuse me.
Can you just stop being so gross?
I said excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, good lord.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna tell Triple G
What?
that you're mean to me.
Don't tell him.
And then he'll never want to stream with you again. And then he'll stream with me and we'll be like best friends.
But
I mean, we already are best friends.
no, I don't
We've
have
been
any.
best-
I
we've
don't
been
have
best
any
friends longer
friends.
than you have.
But you know
That's
what?
it. I gotta put on my spy glasses. I gotta
If-
get serious.
If you beat
Alright.
me, then I'll let you have him as you could steal him.
I already do. I already
a
have
friend.
him. So I mean, that's not even.
Okay, you know what?
Wait,
Just
wh-
start the game. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
I know exactly who you are already. So
Okay. I already forgot who I was. So I gotta drive this. Nice, Timmy. Nice.
okay, I actually gotta take that off so I can see. All right, there we go. That one. That one.
Every now and then I get a little. I'm I'm trying to distract you with my singing.
Copyright.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
There sure is.
You might hear banana bread. That seems a bit scary.
Banana bread.
Banana bread, baby, banana bread. Oh, who'd you shoot?
Dang it.
You're so trigger happy, bro. You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill.
So wait, hang on. It'd be a total of 9 points or 9 games.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I didn't think about it that much. Listen, whoever gets to 4 games first wins. Oh wait, I already did.
Nah. See, I've been letting you win.
It's kind of sussy baka.
You're please don't.
What's wrong with sussy baka?
You know exactly what's wrong with it.
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest memes I've ever seen, to be honest. Oh my god, are you ready? Do I have to put
I'm doing things, man.
Do I have to put elevator music as I wait?
Yeah.
Okay. Elevator music is playing now.
Boom. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna win this time.
Yeah, okay. And my name is Liar. I don't know. Pingu-sama, it's sussy baka. Oh well. Is he the midget? No, the midget is the ambassador. I mean, small person. I don't want to be. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to be racist. Are you in this circle?
Yep.
I don't know. Damn it, I wasn't paying attention enough. Are they actually saying things?
Yeah.
Head, butt, head, bird.
Head, butt, head, bird. Head,
Yes.
butt, head, bird.
Head, butt, head, bird. Head, butt, head, bird. Head, butt,
Banana
head.
bread.
Banana bread. The hell? You banana
That's
breading
good
me?
stuff.
Huh. Banana bread. When you banana bread, you banana bread.
When you banana bread, I think you banana bread as well. So.
I think you're right. Head, butt, head, bird. So focused. I probably missed everything, didn't I? Are you the Are you Britain again? Are you? Well, are you? Are you actually Britain this time?
Yeah, I actually am Britain this time.
How does it feel that I'm staring at your face right now?
Hurts. It hurts a lot.
You're moving very unnaturally. Are you black?
Wow.
What? I'm just asking.
What even is that? Are you black?
No, I don't see color. That's why.
Uh-huh. Look at this guy's crouching, loser.
The waiter. Oh, you see the waiter. That's kind of sussy baka.
I can see everyone.
I can see everything. I can see things. Who the hell are you?
Where am I?
Who
Who are you?
I feel like you are black.
Again, I feel like you're
There's nothing wrong with that.
you're making a lot of assumptions here.
I am. I think you're a whammon. You're definitely a whammon. I know that.
You're a whammon.
Or you're the general and you're just standing there.
Maybe. Maybe I'm one of the waiters. You don't know.
No. Well, you can't be the waiter. Why are you? Oh. You only have 20 seconds, bro. You better finish up. You better finish up. Huh? I didn't see you add time. So you're this woman, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you're a woman. You're a woman. You're one of the women. I'm gonna take the risk.
I wouldn't.
Did I shoot her? Let's go! What the hell? I wasn't sure if you were that woman or the other one, but you're not black. Sorry about that.
You're distracting. I can't play party games with you because you get in my head.
I'm sorry. I like to talk a lot.
You're saying things. I'm like, I can't say anything because if I say something, I'm gonna give it away. But if I don't say anything, then he's gonna think that he's right.
Should I be black or no?
I don't care.
Good. I was just testing to see if you're a racist. You passed. That's the autocorrected to us.
Good lord.
Yeah, I got it. Sorry. No Pixel is a Minecraft server where you could roleplay as
I'm
other
gonna
characters.
lose this bad.
You're already losing this bad.
There's too many people. It's like you have like triple the amount of people. It feels like. I'm kidding.
Maybe I hacked the game, so I would.
Yeah, you hacker, you.
Banana bread. Who do you think it is?
I have an idea, but I don't know.
I see you pointing to the black woman. It's kind of racist, but okay.
I think you're kind of racist.
What do you mean?
You know what you mean.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Hey, are you a guy with white hair?
Why would it be a guy with white hair? I might be a
Because it's in
girl
a-
with white hair.
I doubt it.
Okay. Was there anything sussy baka happening yet?
No.
Oh no, that sucks.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Banana bread.
Oh,
Oh.
someone banana breaded.
Oh, somebody did banana breaded.
Oh, that's kind of bad. No, I was about to move. No, why'd you shoot me?
Yeah, I was right.
You were.
I was sus about you from the moment you walked over to the statues.
Yeah, that's why I put it down. I didn't change anything. But damn, I got stuck by the waiter came out of nowhere and stuck in my butthole. I couldn't.
You
move.
were. It was too convenient.
Well, I had to give you a win. I kind of felt bad at this point.
Yeah, you better feel bad. Wait, what?
What? Oh, you only need to do 3 of 4 missions, so you don't even need to swap statue. I just realized that.
Oh wow.
Wow, indeed.
Oh, okay, I see.
Are you gonna be the British woman?
Yeah. I that's actually like I've been playing that woman the entire game.
No way.
Yeah, I was the sniper.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you are.
Do you?
Yeah. Can I shoot you?
Yeah, go for it.
You sure?
Yep.
You're not scared? I'm looking right at your face.
I'm terrified, but I don't think you're gonna do it.
Well, because your face doesn't look terrified, so I didn't shoot it.
Gotcha.
Oh, those are some cool looking statues. Why are you walking away? What happened? Bird butt head. Bird butt head.
Bird butt head.
Bird head butt and bird butt head, yeah.
Bird bottom butter button. Bada be da booda ba. Birda bada booda ba.
Pete Buttigieg? It's a politician.
You're a politician. How
Thank
dare
you.
you insult me like that?
Oh. Yo, you should banana bread.
I already did. You didn't hear it?
No. You didn't banana bread?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. Do it again, I'll give you $1. No.
Alright.
I won't give you $1. Oh, she has a nice butt. Sorry.
Thank you. I mean,
What? Huh? Oh.
got him.
But you said thank you. Wasn't that she had a nice butt? How was it not you?
Well, that
should've-
is a fair point. I do have a nice butt.
I should have looked at the general's butt.
The general has a pretty nice.
Ooh.
Don't worry, I'm on my hot streak now.
Okay.
It's just gonna be uphill or downhill from here. Wait, uphill.
You're never gonna figure this one out.
Good lord, you're the woman. Wow.
Did you hear that? That was real quick, wasn't it?
It was.
So you should know exactly who it is, no?
No.
Oh, you weren't paying attention, huh? I'm not the general.
I
What?
just figured that you were gonna do some like reverse psychology stuff. and be like,
Nah. I reverse psychology you. Okay. Yes.
You're good. Who were you? Just out of curiosity for the last round.
I was the short person. Can't say that.
No.
Yeah. I picked it intentionally. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would do such a thing.
Oh, now you're gonna pick him, aren't you?
No, definitely not.
The dwarf. No, I think dwarf is not nice to say either.
I don't think you can say that.
You can't say anything. Little people is also mean.
I think.
No, you didn't pick it.
What do you think I was gonna tell you?
Yeah, I thought. Oh my god.
All right, I'll pick him next time.
All right, fine.
Ooh, we unlocked a new location.
Did we?
Or I did. I unlocked a balcony.
Oh, you should pick the balcony next then.
We should.
Someone in my chat said, "How about still growing? Still growing person." That sounds even worse.
I feel like that's not accurate.
Yeah, that too. Damn, there's a lot of people in that.
Ooh.
Why are two people?
Banana bread.
I love me my black people.
Really?
Yeah. Why are you gonna shoot the Queen of Britain, bro? Don't do that. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Don't shoot the queen. Bro, that's not nice. Hey. Oh, no! Shit! I was hoping you would miss. Oh. You
That
knew,
wasn't even... Oh, that wasn't even fair. What are you...
you knew right away. He was too tall. I need someone who's...
It wasn't that you were too tall. It's that you were striving back and forth in like the same position.
Yeah, I wanted you to shoot, but I wanted you to shoot someone else by accident.
Nah. I'm a sniper, man.
He was too tall, so you were able to see him. I had to pick the short person.
Somebody get us the information on this. Tell us what we're supposed to say, please. All right,
No,
I'm the midget this time. Oh, what the heck?
No, you can't say midget or dwarf.
I'm sorry, the little person. I believe little people because, like...
That seems messed up too, no?
That's the TV show!
Oh, there's a T. I don't know. But bird. But bird. But bird. Yo, give me a hint for who you are.
Okay, I'm a woman.
You're a fat guy, you were about to say.
Yeah.
Kind of sus. Looking at them statues.
Oh no.
What? Ah!
What you doing?
Don't worry about it. What do you mean? Oh, the girl with the nice butt. Is that you?
I am the girl with the nice butt.
I don't know if you're lying this time. Last time you said you had a nice butt. It wasn't you.
I am. I got a nice butt. You didn't. No. To be fair, you said I had a nice butt, and I just agreed with you.
Wait. Oh no. Butthead bird. Oh yeah, butthead bird. Hey, what's up, Waldo? Thanks for the lurk.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Shit. Yo, banana bread again. I dare you.
Okay.
Wait. Huh? I knew it was you.
Yeah.
I thought I saw you switch this. I didn't see what?
I forgot that it's set to 3 out of the 4 things. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
That is so annoying.
All right.
I've let you win way too many. Yeah, change the map. Whoever
Holy
gets.
castle.
How about whoever
Settings.
gets 10 first?
Oh wait, are you changing the map? You changed the map because you're just
Oh
why, don't you?
no, I don't. Oh, I thought you changed it. Okay, whatever.
I guess we're doing the ballroom again.
The winner will change the map.
Okay.
What are you meant to call them? I don't know.
Are you the woman again?
I hate women. I would never be one.
Wow, you can't say that.
I'm joking. I'm being a jokester. Hey, why are you aiming at my blonde boy? Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. You're not gonna hear banana bread. Don't worry. Thing canceled. True. Guys, the strategy is to. I'm just not gonna play. I'm gonna let the mouse. I'm gonna let the game control it and see if he could tell who it is. Yeah, let's go.
No.
I knew
Okay,
it.
but I only was sus because I saw an arm move and I was like, oh, did he just bug the ambassador?
I knew you would think it's them.
Can I change? Oh, I can.
Okay, you
Okay.
could? Okay, cool.
Um.
Change it to whatever other map there is, I guess. And if there's other missions, change the missions too.
Okay.
Oh, this game is too easy. I'm so good at video games. Indeed. Indeed. Poor me. Exactly. So good at video. 10,000 viewers on Twitch. I'm just famous.
Wow, you're really.
English, the hard language. Oh my god, how long does it take to set up?
Hey, I'm trying to change the
I want to be the wheelchair guy. What's the proper way of calling people who are in wheelchairs? Disabled?
handicapped.
No, disabled.
I'm
Because they could still use their hands, they can't use their legs. Oh my god.
true.
Vegetables? No, I don't think that's the right one.
No.
Yeah.
Naughty, 9.
Yeah. Hey, are you speaking German? Bro, I'm Jewish.
Sorry.
Oh,
Niet.
there you
Niet.
go. Russian is better. Thank you.
All right, here we go. I can confirm I have a nice butt.
I'm gonna look at all their butts now.
Okay, good. It's very voluptuous.
Yeah. Useless.
As the youth would say.
Oh, this is a small map. Wait, this is the whole map?
Apparently.
Oh, you only need two missions. Contact, seduce. Huh. Oh, I saw you seducing. You're dead. What are your final words?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Shit! I thought you were touching his. I thought you were touching him.
I told you I have a nice butt.
Shit! It was the British Queen. God damn it. Wait.
Hardy.
Wait, where's the wheelchair? Oh, we don't have the wheelchair guy.
I honestly didn't realize that it was. So at the top of your screen, you can switch. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's more maps.
Mm-hmm. I think both players have to have them unlocked though, because I had like the pub unlocked, but you must not, so I couldn't choose it.
Are you saying that I suck at video games?
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of racist, but okay.
Well,
You'll
if
never
you just got better.
you'll never guess who I am.
If you just spent more time playing video games and less time doing actual stuff.
I don't spend much time doing actual stuff.
I mean, same.
You'll never guess who I am.
You're right. This
Is
is
it-
so tough. This map is like weird.
Why is there so much time on the in this
Banana
in
bread.
this
You
round?
gotta do 5 missions this round.
No, because I added time and you didn't pay attention. These conversations are interesting.
They sure are.
Banana bread! Banana bread! There's a lot of people.
Banana bread.
I told you.
Dang it.
Damn, you always shoot that guy when I'm the small person.
I just think you're, you know,
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, I'm playing as a small person this round, so
Okay. You mean a midget dwarf? Sorry,
yeah,
dwarf midget. I didn't mean to say that.
yeah. You can't. I don't think I'm gonna get canceled so hard for this.
It's okay. I'll censor your name.
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome. I'll be like Ping Pong Masters versus Redacted.
it's redacted plays redacted.
Redacted plays redact. What is this map? Oh, it's the same map.
This is the map that you had us on. It was annoying.
It's actually a good map. I don't know why you shot the wrong person. It's kind of sussy baka, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Banana bread.
Oh, you banana breaded.
Banana bread.
So you're not the midget. I mean, small person. But you said you were a small person, so...
Well, why would I tell you the truth?
Because I tell you the truth sometimes. No, you're gonna get owned, man. You're gonna get owned. You're Britain. You're Queen Britain. I already know.
Yeah, you're right.
Wheelchair! How'd you get a wheelchair?
I'm pretty good at it. I unlocked it, really.
Wait, you changed one of the... Wait, I don't remember what was there. I feel like you changed one of the statues.
I did.
Did you?
Yep.
Any final words?
I'm gonna stand right here so you can't hit me.
You sure about that? I'll give you 10 seconds to run.
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6. Freaking asshole. 5, 4, 3, 2. You're making yourself more. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I wonder who he is. She.
I honestly didn't even have a chance that round.
You
like,
sure? You shouldn't have said anything. I wasn't 100% sure that you were. You ruined it for yourself.
When you had your laser pointed on my back when I was standing over by bookshelves or whatever, I was like, oh, yeah, he knows.
No, I was BSing. I was guessing that was you, but you gave it away.
Yeah.
Wait, why are there two people who look exactly the same?
Because
It's hilarious. I'm gonna be one of.
Alright.
I'm gonna be one of them. I'm just
Alright.
letting you know right now.
All right, sounds good.
Uh,
Ping, you have to stop being the little person.
I'm not being the little person.
This isn't fun anymore.
The little person will be the seduction.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not lying.
All right.
Purloin guest list. Ooh, that's a new one.
Ooh. You can't.
Ooh, I finally unlocked the wheelchair.
The wheelchair.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just chilling. Why did you shoot?
Because I saw he's doing something with the statues.
Bro, you just
I was,
lost.
like, really confident.
You lost 10-7. You suck.
Okay.
I feel like this was too easy.
I feel like I should have played a warm-up round.
I'll give you one more chance. If you win this next round, then we'll go to the finals. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, it's too easy. This game. I've been a spy since I was a kid. Okay, a spy.
I'm gonna look at your stream and see that you're actually watching my stream.
Imagine. I'm gonna spy. I've been a spy since I was a kid. I like spying on my stepsister, changing in her bedroom. You know.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty hot
Banana
stuff.
bread.
But what the hell? You already banana breaded?
Yep.
You're
I'm insane, man.
You are insane. How did you banana bread?
I'm loco, man.
Wait, are you the girl with the nice butt?
Yeah, I sure am.
Or are you the small person? Don't worry about it, Sam. Or are you looking at the list for the party?
There's a list for the party?
Yeah, you're looking at it right now.
Yeah,
The
you're right.
the guest list. It wasn't very smart of you. Where are you going? You have a
Would you
beautiful
like to know?
face.
Thank you.
Huh. You should add time to the timer. Just for fun.
I really should, but
I feel like you're almost done with your missions.
I am.
Wait, was that actually you? No! Bro, you're in love with this British woman. Jesus. Alright, I have to win.
Wait. Okay.
You don't want me to win?
Not really. I'd much rather get a shout out on Ping Pong Games channel. Go to Rosquilla plays games on Twitch. Oh, free shout out already.
Nice. You said your name wrong too.
I did too. So somebody else is just gonna get an amazing. All right, you're not the spy. You're not the spy. You're not the spy.
I really like being a small person.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? That last round, I didn't get any of my tasks done.
Banana bread.
Really? Oh, look how many
Yeah,
people are grouped up in a circle. You're never gonna find me.
You're right. I'm not.
Huh? I actually thought I was him. Oh, too easy.
I figured you're. I gotta remember that you're not smart enough to do reverse psychology. So.
I reverse the psychology of the reverse psychology.
See, here's the thing. You say that, but I don't think you are. It's possible. So.
Oh, I got the pub, but
Yeah, I see that now. It came unlocked.
do you have time to do one more?
We got one more.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what we'll do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I win this one,
Uh-huh.
I get to put I get a tweet on your thing.
Oh, you just told everyone the secret. The winner
I
gets
know.
to tweet out on the other person's Twitter, and we have thousands of followers, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. So
A big deal.
if not, then you get to still tweet on my account.
Wait, what? You're on. How about double? If I win,
Double?
yeah, if I win, I get to tweet one now and one in the far future.
Okay,
And then if you win, you get one.
that's fine.
Okay.
I just need one really clever.
Oh, this is a new map too. Shit. Ugh, I wish you were the wheelchair. Wheelchair is cool chair. Yeah, change the statue right
Banana
away.
bread.
Huh? Is it just banana bread? Oh, you're the big guy. You're definitely the
big
big
guy.
guy. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yep.
Should I shoot you?
Yeah. Do it.
I think you're the big guy. I really do. But I'm not sure.
Come on.
I'm not sure who you are. I feel like you're the big guy. Can I shoot?
I mean, you can shoot me if you want, if you think that's who I am, but
Or are you the small person? The small
I'm
person.
the little person.
It's pronounced small. Do you promise?
Yeah.
I still think you're the big guy.
Banana bread.
Okay, I feel like you're definitely the big guy now.
Okay. I mean,
You have to be.
yeah, I was.
Yes, let's go. you know.
Hang on.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
have to-
Watch the replay. Watch the replay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Was it when I glitched into the person at the front?
no. Okay. So when the first banana bread happened, I low lighted like a bunch of people, right? And then
Right.
like you walked away, but I was looking at the statues and a bunch of people were picking them up and not changing them. And I feel like you tend to change the statues more often. So then I was like, oh, it's probably not them. And then you see when you went into the second group and you bananaed bread, it said suspected double agent was the British one.
Right.
And like there was almost no one left. so I was able
See, how do you
I wasn't
low
100%.
light?
I wasn't 100% sure though. Low light, you right click. Left click is highlight. I actually highlighted you from like when you went into the you see the third group only had 3 people. That was the problem, and one of them was the suspected double agent. So I took the
Right.
risk and I shot you.
Oh man,
Damn, I'm such
that's
a
upsetting.
genius.
Little Timmy _TV, thank you for the follow.
Hey, I know that guy.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. That's my viewer, baby.
Yeah, he came to me because he knows I'm better.
Well, then why'd you lose?
Here's the thing, Ping Pong. I did it because I know how fragile your feelings are. And
That's
I
true.
figured if I won, you would be in tears.
You're not
And your
wrong.
mom wouldn't leave me alone about it. So
Whoa,
I decided,
whoa.
you know what? For the sake of Mama Pong and for your feelings, I'm gonna let you win.
Well, I appreciate it.
You
So,
know,
now that I
next time
won-
you won't be so happy.
Now that I won, I have to wait, the queen died?
What?
Queen Elizabeth?
She did not. No way.
Oh no, she didn't.
Deny!
Rumors of her death denied. Oh.
What? She's not dead. She was sick for a little bit, though. I know,
Yeah.
for a while.
Everyone would have gotten the sneak peek at Ping Pong Moosters. Anyway,
Hey,
what should I tweet?
Are you just gonna send it to me so I can put it on my Twitter?
Oh yeah, I felt like I was for some reason I thought I'm gonna tweet it on your Twitter somehow. All right. I'm gonna send it to you, okay?
All right.
Guys, what should we make him tweet? I know exactly what to make you tweet. I'm gonna draft this. It's gonna be beautiful.
Remember, it has to stay under like You have to keep it under. Was it like 100 characters? Or 150
Okay.
characters, something like that. So.
I'm being told to say sub to Ping and give all your money, you sorting humans. You boring humans. No, I'm gonna do something better. Amazing.
This is gonna be interesting.
creator. If you haven't checked him out already, or visit. Yo, it's free exposure. I love it.
You're the one who should be giving me free exposure over there, Mr. 1,000 subs.
2,000 actually. 1,000 was last week. Okay. Out.
Don't lie to me. You're on 1,000 subs still.
I am.
Except for your main channel, you can't.
Actually, my shorts channel has 1,000 subs. Yeah.
Yeah. Your shorts has 1,000, and your main channel's what, like 300?
Yep. Stop stalking me.
You know what? I gotta do my research before I confirm who I'm gonna stream with. You know, I can't just stream with some loser nobodies.
Hey, you're right. Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Just, right there it says Ping Pong Master is typing.
There's a lot to type. I definitely.
Now we're gonna have to do a rematch on this at some point so I can win.
Well, you're gonna have to practice a lot to win.
Ooh, I'm gonna play nothing but this game for like a month, and then we can do it.
Damn it! Don't do that. How many characters it has to be?
I think it's like 100 or 150 characters, somewhere in there.
Really?
We'll find out when I
Twitter character limit. Let me look it up. 280. Oh yeah, because they increased it. They increased it a few years ago. Oh, this is too long. This is too long.
Thank you, Gagano, for the winners.
Damn it! I said some amazing speech, but it's too long.
It's just gonna. By the time I get it, it's just gonna say sub the ping pong on it.
Maybe. Ping Pong Masters is the best streamer I have ever seen. He is honestly so bright, caring, and just an amazing content creator. If you haven't, go ahead.
I'm gonna send a winky face at the end of it. Wink.
Okay. If you haven't checked him out already, you're missing out. Then it's a link to my Twitch. P.S. I hope you all give him your money, because I definitely have, and I don't regret one penny. That's pretty good, right?
Right, that sounds amazing.
It's too long, though. I have to shorten it.
What I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna send it on my Twitter, and then I'm gonna immediately post one of my imaginary crab farm updates.
And you're just gonna like post like 10 things to get it out of the way.
Yeah. Have you been reading my random?
I have, yes. But I'm not seeing videos on it. Are you planning to put videos on it? Wait. Let me think. Let me think how to edit this. 1 second. Sorry. The best streamer I have ever seen. He's honestly. I'll just delete this stuff. He's honestly just an amazing content creator. If you haven't checked him out already, you're missing out. P.S. Give him your money, because I have, and I don't regret one penny.
So when I started off my crab farm stuff, for the people who don't know, I literally just posted starting a crab farm and in a crab emoji. And then now I've been doing updates. I have a male crab apparently named Hernando.
Hernando?
Yeah, he's a ladies man.
Okay, there it is.
All right,
I expect to see it.
Oh Lord.
It's 279 characters. And 280 is the max. Okay. Is that good? Does that work?
Yep, I'm sending it.
All right, let's see it. We goddamn won, baby. Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! In front of his thousands of followers. Editor,
Yeah.
edit that in. Edit that in.
Yeah, Gagano, when you get this, when I send it to you, make sure you put lies flashing over the screen.
You are too sweet.
So when are we gonna do our next? When are we doing our next collab?
Well, Saturday, right? I haven't
Right.
told anyone yet, but it's a secret because it's a secret, right? Should it be a secret? I don't know.
I don't know. I probably won't. I'm gonna tell people. I'm gonna
Okay.
spoil it.
All right, so sneak peek this Saturday. We're gonna be playing Uno with 3 other streamers, one of which
Two other
is
streamers besides you and I.
oh yeah, 2 other streamers, one of which Rosquilla, me, I am Triple
The
G, and
one-
Lil Luxio.
Our amazing friend Little Luxio. So I don't know who this Triple G guy is yet. I gotta eyeball him out.
I guess so, yeah. Thanks for watching and bye.
All right.
I guess that's it, yeah.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it, baby.
Finally, I can go and not hang out with this loser.
Why would you say that?
Because I like hurting people's feelings.
Nah, I am a loser.
That's my job as a moderator. I wasn't sure if you're aware of that or not. My job is to make sure people have hurt feelings.
Oh, I like that. I like the fact that you addressed that I have feelings. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. And wait, did you delete the tweet already?
No, it's still up.
Okay.
I'll give it at least 24 hours.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, nice. All right. I'll talk to you later, bro. Thanks for the games.
All right. Thank you for playing spy games with me.
Thank you for playing with me.
I'll always play with you, my son.
Oh, that's kind of what the hell.
Anyway, bye.
Bye. Fix your mic for next time too.
You fix your mic for next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, Ping Pong 2? We're actually gonna end stream now. I will be back in about 48 minutes. I'll be back in like 48 minutes for Super Mario. But yeah.